morning, Miss Carter. So I got a few emails today and some messages from you guys on the classroom as well about some issues you were having with your Delta Math assignment. So I went in and made a student account to see what's happening from your end, and some of the things that I noticed that I think you guys may not have realized and you were getting them wrong for were that if the line continues to go on forever, it can't just end with a dot. If you click on the dots, you have the option of making them closed, open, or an arrow. So if it keeps going forever, you need to make sure that it has an arrow on it and it's not just a dot. If two lines meet in a single place, one of them is closed, one of them is open, just represent it with closed, because there's no way to show both of that all at once. So if one of the two is closed, just make that connection closed. And make sure you're doing your slope the right way. So I wanted to show you an example of me doing one to maybe help you guys out. For this example, it wants me to graph these three functions. I've already done more than enough, but we're going to give it a try. So I start on the 5, and this is my slope, -3/2. So at 5, I'm going to go down 3 and over 2, down 3 and over 2, and also do the same thing going up 3 and to the left 2 will still give me a negative slope. And if I go back and look at my restriction, it's everything less than or equal to 2. So I do need to keep going this way. Up 3 over 2. And I can't do that here because I've run out of graph room. So if I just come back to this dot and click it 3 times, it's closed, then it goes open, then it does an arrow. That means it's going to just keep going, even though I can't get to it on the graph. I need to stop this line at 2, right? If 2 is my restriction, this line's got to stop at 2. So I'm going to erase this line so that it's not passing 2. And because it is equal to, I need this dot to be closed. The next function is just x. Y equals x is just a line going through the origin. We know that. And that's going to be between 2 and 5. So I'm going to put another dot right there and delete this line. Well, darn it. So if this was the line I just had, I need to get rid of this part. So again, this line can't go less than 2, but it can't either, it also can't go above 5. So I need to put a dot at 5. So if you want to put a dot, you can click on closed circle and add a closed circle at 5. Now I can erase this part of the line. Click on line again so it knows that you're working with your lines. My goodness. And make a line between your two dots that you can keep. And then for -3, it's a straight line at -3. And it's going to be everything greater than 5. So at 5, I'm just going to make a straight line at -3. So I didn't pass 5, but I'm making a straight line at -3. And again, it's got to go on forever, so that needs to be an arrow. That is how you would do that. So you can click on line, close circle, open circle to change what you're working with. So if you make a straight line and you need to cut part of that line off, every time you click on the line, it's going to erase the entire line. Put a dot in the middle of that by clicking on closed circle. Then you can erase your line and connect those two dots. And anytime your line continues on off the graph, you need to make sure that it has an arrow. So when you come down here and hit submit, it will give you two options. So right now it says our answer is not correct. We have one more attempt remaining. So I know this is a negative slope that crosses through 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And it's everything less than 2. Then I have this between 2 and 5. And then I have y equals -3 for everything. Oh, this greater than 5 needs to be an open circle. There's our mistake. It's always best to go back and double check. So this time we should get it right. And we did. So that's how you graph on here. I know that you guys haven't had much practice with delta math, and it can be a little tricky. But again, when you're trying to graph, use these 3 options: line, closed circle, open circle. It's going to automatically start you on line, and you can just start making dots and continue in your line. And at any point that you want to erase something, when you hover over it, you'll see like the no symbol, and it will erase it. If you make a full, let me erase this. If you make a full, a full line, but you only want to erase part of it, you need to go up here and click on closed circle, put your circle where you want it, go back to line, and now you can erase the line, but go back to the dot that you made. So now you know like where that spot was, as before you would have been a little bit lost. And then the last thing is when you click on a dot, you have the option of making it closed, open, or an arrow, which will make it continue on forever. So I hope that that's at least a little bit helpful. For me, it took about 2 problems to figure out how all these buttons work. How do I change these dots? What is it that Delta Math is looking for when it comes to 2 lines meeting? If one is open and one is closed, how do they want me to represent that? And how do I show that it keeps going forever? So it took a few problems and kind of playing around with it for me to figure that out. So I thought I would give you those tips. Make it an arrow if it keeps going. If 2 lines meet and one of them is equal to that dot, just make that dot closed and make sure that your slopes are right. I know that it's really frustrating, and some of you have said, I spent hours on it and I can't get it. This is where online learning gets tough. I can't be there to help you, and I can't physically show you. You have to do the learning on your own, and it takes a lot of responsibility and time. And I know it's frustrating, but I just want you guys to bear with me. You've got to try. You've got to keep working. You guys can learn TikTok dances and how to work all kinds of apps. I know you can figure out how to do Delta Math. I have confidence in you. So I hope that that was helpful. I also changed the Delta Math assignment to 2 graphs and 2 equations instead of 5 of each to help you guys get through it a little faster. So I hope that that helps, and I hope this video helps as well. If you have any other questions, please leave the comments on the classroom. Bye, guys.